Cristiano Ronaldo joined Real Madrid in the summer of 2009. The Spanish giant shelled out €94 million for his signature. The Madeiran repaid that faith with the only currency he knew: goals, and lots of them. By the time Ronaldo made his way to Turin, he'd plundered 450 strikes in 438 games. But Cristiano was not the first footballer to move for a sizable sum that transfer window. It was Kaká, the 2007 Ballon d'Or winner, who caught the imagination of football fans with his €67 million transfer to Real. While Cristiano reached new heights, Kaká continued to struggle one season after the other. The Brazilian struggles were manifold. He was constantly injured, and when he was available, he was not the right fit. Real Madrid were a team built around Cristiano Ronaldo, and Kaká was part of the supporting cast. He was not used to this, and the star fizzled out. At Real Madrid, there are too many elements that can bog you down that it's difficult to ascertain what led one to fail. For Kaká, the weight of expectation proved to be too much, or the pressure of playing at the Bernabeu. All of a sudden, the darling of San Siro was an afterthought. Moreover, the constant harassment by the media does not help. Neither does the pressure that comes after such a transfer. Alongside Karim Benzema and Ronaldo, Kaká was to usher the club to greatness, but it was not to be. He left after playing a bit-part role in Real Madrid's 2011-2012 La Liga campaign. Not the same force of nature as he used to be, his return to AC Milan also did not pan out as he hoped. A player of his technique was not supposed to struggle, but a combination of age and wrong time, wrong place had a negative impact on his career. Kaká's case is not one in isolation. Clubs spend millions to get the best players in their dressing room, only for them to fail. It isn't a surprise to see big-name signings struggle at clubs. Eden Hazard and Luka Jovic are the latest names in this list, while Antoine Griezmann, Philippe Coutinho and Ousmane Dembele also make this list. In the modern game, it's always a tough task to expect a new player to hit the ground running the moment he joins a new team. None of the players we've mentioned here can be questioned of being suspect in terms of technique or playing potential, but they have just failed in their new surroundings. Acclimatization process is different for each player, and there are lots of variables that define a player's adjustment to new surroundings. Some players fit right in, while most take their time. Neymar adjusted to life with Barcelona and PSG without any fuss and became a huge star for both teams. A lot of elements contributed to this. Both PSG and Barcelona were dominating in their respective leagues at the time, had players who were stepping up to the task week in, week out, so Neymar didn't really have a lot of pressure to deal with things. On the other side of the spectrum, there are several cases where big-name signings struggle. Fernando Torres, for instance, never really showcased his best form at Chelsea, despite coming on the back of a prolific sojourn at Liverpool. The same goes for Alvaro Morata. Salah, on the other hand, arrived at Liverpool and started delivering from the get-go, and no one can argue that the Egyptian king made the Reds a better team than they were before. No disrespect to Sadio Mane, Salah is just a better player with more charisma and flair. Hello guys, and welcome to yet another exciting video on your favourite channel, Goalside. We love bringing amazing football content your way every single day so that the lockdown doesn't keep you away from the game you love. We're so thankful to have such a massive following already and look forward to seeing the numbers of our family grow. All you need to do is subscribe, like our videos, share them with your friends, and make sure you never miss out on our content. Today we're going to talk about a player who's divided opinion ever since he returned to the English Premier League. This player's a unique talent, but hasn't been given much of a chance to shine in all honesty. Paul Pogba is one of the most dynamic midfielders of this era, but the French international has really struggled to do well at Manchester United after he became the club's most expensive signing a few years back. A lot was expected, but the former Juventus man hasn't delivered. However, this statement could not be further away from the truth. In all honesty, Pogba has done pretty well in telling circumstances, and in this video, we're going to discuss all the problems that have contributed to the World Cup winner's struggles. We're going to talk about how difficult it was for Pogba when he arrived to play under a defensive-minded manager in the shape of Jose Mourinho, and how the departure of Zlatan Ibrahimovic added more pressure on the midfielder to become the club's talisman. How can we miss out on the fact that Pogba was expected to do well for his team that was boasting a leaky defence and rather ordinary midfielders? We're also going to discuss the different positions he was tested in, despite being proven that one role in particular was going to make him shine. You can always see which position he thrived in while he was playing in Italy. The problems. Mourinho's cold shoulder. Jose Mourinho was supposed to be the second heir apparent to Sir Alex Ferguson's throne. He had the tactical acumen to outsmart the wily Scotsman on numerous occasions, and just like the Scotsman, he wanted absolute control. Mourinho wanted Pogba at Old Trafford to start his revolution, but he was not the answer to all his problems. He wanted a team that was made in his image. He wanted to clear out and have players that could deliver his tactics. The special one was not afforded that luxury. Manchester United did not work like that then, and continue to do so. As a result, he had a team of players that were earmarked to play David Moyes and Louis van Gaal's football. And out of the players Mourinho did want, only a couple made their way to Manchester. All of this left Pogba in a precarious situation. The French midfielder was never supposed to play in a deeper role. He was an attacker who was allowed independence to roam the midfield. A tactician believing in compact spaces would not allow that, especially when the midfield is suspect enough to begin with. Mourinho wanted Pogba to take a greater role in the centre of the park. He wanted him to be tactically disciplined and also help in attack. Mourinho wanted him to grow beyond the shell he'd played in so far in his career. Pogba did what was asked of him, but it's not easy to get everything right from the get-go, especially not for a youngster who just broke the transfer record. There are far too many distractions, and not everyone has the tactical discipline that can please Mourinho. Even the slightest off-pass can tick the tactician off, and he does not shy away from letting everyone know. Mourinho realised that he had to ask more from Pogba as he did not have enough quality in the centre of the park. Marouane Fellaini does not fill your hopes with optimism. Neither does Andreas Pereira. Ander Herrera can come off as the most adept of the midfield partners Pogba had, and he too was not world class, while Fred failed miserably from the get-go and could not be relied upon. It's not that we're picking on United's midfield, it was really that bad. Unreliable to keep possession of the ball and equally more error-prone at shielding the defence. The Portuguese man's hands were tied, and Pogba had to sacrifice his creative freedom and get shackled deeper. The Frenchman learned his new trade and was instrumental in United's Europa League winning side, but he remained far from the finished article. He was not a midfield general who was adept anywhere in midfield. His strengths worked in conjunction with his attacking forays, and this is why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer managed to turn around his season after his employment. The Norwegian gave him a more creative role, and his attacking output increased from 6 goals in 17-18 to 16 in the next. The currently halted campaign was marred by injuries. He only made 8 competitive appearances and did not trouble the scorers. But this is not where the issues arise for Pogba. He's been in the news for all the wrong reasons. The combative midfielder tried to force a move to Real Madrid but failed to do so. Zinedine Zidane remains a big draw for Pogba. He grew up idolising his compatriot and wants to emulate him by moving to Santiago Bernabeu. No one should begrudge him that. The Spanish giants have the ability to turn anyone's head. A certain Cristiano Ronaldo followed the same trajectory, and in this whole mess of a situation, Mino Raiola did not help out a bit. He was in the press and questioned not only the Manchester United hierarchy, but also had some choice words reserved for Solskjaer. Pogba without being on the pitch was the hot topic everywhere and not for the right reasons. None of this shines light on Pogba's influence on and off the pitch for Manchester United. Not only is he a vocal presence in the dressing room with all his shenanigans, he's their only leader on the pitch, the only player to command respect owing to his tactical ability. But if that's not it, the only player who can do everyone else's job if he was not burdened by his own tasks. This is how big a phenomenon the Frenchman is, and it will come to the fore for everyone to see. The purchase of Bruno Fernandes has been a blessing in disguise. Fernandes complements Pogba with his work rate and all-action playing style. It will free up Pogba from his defensive duties and allow him to focus at the front. His productivity should increase. Some part of it can be attributed to Fernandes, and the other to Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial coming of age. The striking duo have put up impressive numbers this season and should improve if they stay off the treatment table. Solskjaer's arrival has been a breath of fresh air, but it will be some time before his impact is felt across the pitch. The feel-good factor is there, and Old Trafford again has a positive atmosphere. All that remains is a Pogba show that's reminiscent of his time in Turin. Pogba was a force to reckon with in Serie A and unlocked the defences in Italian top-flight football with his astute vision and relentless work rate. That's been missing in his performances in England. The lengthy time off should work in his favour. It'll give him time to recuperate and continue his footballing journey in earnest. He still has a point to prove at Old Trafford, and it remains to be seen how he aims to do that, with tails between his legs or as a champion of the bleachers.